Hey everybody, today we are doing a quick kind of everyday natural easy makeup look with just one brush. I'm really excited because this is a brush that I have not tried out before, but I've heard amazing things about it. I see a lot of people use it on YouTube, and I actually had a subscriber say that she uses it and loves it and feels like I would really love it. So then I was like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna go get it. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Perfection Brush number 7. Let's open it up because it's still in its little box compartment thing. I've heard wonderful things about IT Cosmetics brushes. I have never used them before, so I'm really excited. Let's take this little thing off. Okay, here she is. Ooh, so cute. Very interesting because it's a lot smaller and a lot more lightweight than I thought it was going to be. But here it is. You've got one side that's a little bit larger for like your foundation or other things, and then you've got a smaller side for concealer. So we are going to try to use this and only this for my entire face. This brush is pricey. I don't think I have any brushes that aren't from like the drugstore. I use a lot of Real Techniques and a lot of Morphe brushes, and that's about it really. So most of my brushes are very affordable. This here brush is $48. So expensive. I don't know, YouTube made me do it, you know? You see all these people using and loving it and it being kind of a staple in their every single day makeup routine, and I feel like I've been getting into doing more just kind of simple, easy, quick makeup for an everyday basis, so I got suckered in and I bought it. $48, which means I guess it's really 2 brushes technically, so it's $24 each brush. If you think about it that way, I mean, it's a little bit easier to swallow that. It feels very soft on first appearance. I definitely feel like it needs to loosen up a little bit. If you look online, the bristles are a little bit more kind of fluffy and open. That's totally normal since it was in this packaging that kind of was making sure that everything was held together nicely. It's just a little bit closed up and needs to be loosened a little bit. I'm super excited about this. I love a fluffy brush for my base. I'll show you what I typically use so you can get a good idea of what I do on a normal basis. A lot of people don't use a brush quite as fluffy as I do for foundation and concealer, but I really love the effect that it gives. So this is a lot smaller than what I use currently. I love this e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush, so you can see it is a little bit bigger and a little bit fluffier and more round than this brush here. This is more of your typical kabuki shaped brush, but it is a lot more soft and flexible than a lot of people's really dense foundation brushes, so I still think this will give me the effect that I like out of a foundation brush. Then this is the Real Techniques setting brush, very dirty because I use it every single day, for my concealer and then setting under my eyes. And then here it is in comparison to the back of the IT brush. So a lot smaller, a lot more, again, that kabuki shape a little bit. It's still very soft, but it's a little stiffer than what I'm used to. So this should be very interesting. Okay, so let's just go on in and get started. I'm just gonna do my entire face with just this one brush. We are going to put 1 pump of the L'Oreal, I always forget what this is called, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to pick up just a little bit and start to swirl this around. I'm just going to buff this into the skin. And I'm just starting out with a nice light layer of foundation. Nothing crazy. Take some here on the nose. I really need it. My nose is so red lately. I don't know what's going on. I think it's really fun to talk about makeup tools because I don't feel like a lot of people talk about like their favorite tools or anything like that. So I really like to test out new brushes and see what it does to my makeup, the coverage, the finish, all of that. So I'm excited. This is looking really good off the bat. I'm just gonna layer this up in the areas that I kind of need it and see how it goes. Now I'm using more of a stippling motion, just kind of pressing into the skin more than like buffing. Okay, so I've used that entire pump of foundation that was on the back of my hand. Sorry, I have eyeshadow on my hand. I already have mascara on. There's like glitter all over my eyelids. I just filmed another video trying out an eyeshadow palette and just took all my makeup off to do this kind of natural, more everyday look right after. So that's why I look a little bit of a mess in this area and like on my hands and stuff. Don't mind that. Okay, foundation is on. It's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Catrice, I can't remember the names of anything right now. This Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. Again, I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. That's always my preferred way of doing it. That way you never overdo it with the product. When you're using lighter layers of product, you get kind of more of a skin-like finish. It also lasts a lot better and wears off better throughout the day. So we're gonna flip the brush over now and use the concealer side. I'm gonna pick up just a tiny bit and start working around the centers of my skin here. Lately, I've been adding a little bit of concealer around this kind of like outer part of my mouth because I feel like it's a little bit dark. You can see it a little more right there in like this area. So I've been trying to add a little more concealer there just to kind of brighten it up. I don't know if it's making a huge difference. I just started doing this like a few days ago. Just kind of trying it out. Once I get to the bottom part of like the eye area, I'm just going to kind of pounce over it with the foundation side of the brush just to kind of blend that together a little bit more. And then we will kind of cancel out the color on the lids with the concealer as well. Okay, coverage finish looks good. I like it. While we're in this same area, I'm just going to take that same side of the brush and set just right under my eyes with some translucent powder, just a very light amount. And then on my lid as well. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I mean, my face looks about the same as it normally does. Everything blended out good, covered well, but I still look like, you know, I'm a human and I have skin. I am going to use this side to start bronzing up the skin a little bit. We're going to use this cream bronzing stick that I have here. I'm going to kind of coat the brush pretty evenly and then dab off anything extra on the back of my hand, and then we'll start blending this out. Wow, I love how that blended everything out. I can't even tell you how easy that was. I typically use this e.l.f. foundation blurring brush for my cream contour. I do feel like it's a little stiff, so this worked insanely well. I love that for the cream contour. Wow. Let's try to add a little bit of a powder kind of contour on top with that same brush. See how this goes. Just sort of lightly dusting it. Just want to see how many uses there are for this brush, you know, since it is $48 and you're only getting 2 brushes, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to use them for multiple steps. But I feel like this is laying on the powder really well. You just want to be really, really gentle on your skin with it. Skin's looking good, okay? I really like this. I do feel like, let's jump back to like foundation and concealer really quick. I do feel like the brushes that I use, just because they are a little bit more rounded and a little bit bigger, they blend out a little bit faster, but not necessarily better, just a little quicker. So I do prefer that. However, this also just needs a little bit of time to kind of like open up and soften a little bit. So maybe that's why it could, you know, end up being really good. In the future, the cream contour was the best ever with this. If nothing else, I will be using this for cream contour for sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some cream blush. I really like to apply cream blush with my fingers. So we're gonna do that. And that's not cheating because it's still only one brush. Just using my fingertips also. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Pinched. Love this one. So nice and natural for every day. If you have a problem with your blush like fading off, you can even just use this as a base and put your powder blush on top. That way everything lasts a lot longer. But I love it. Sorry for using my middle finger, yo. I don't know why, that just is the easiest. Okay, then I'm just taking this brush with nothing on it to kind of blend and soften this inner part and then down underneath the blush in case anything got a little low or crazy. Looks good. I kind of want to see how this applies a powder blush on top. Once we've got a powder blush on, it will be really hard to go back in and use this brush for anything else. So I want to make sure there's nothing else I want to do with this side before we do that. I think what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my Physicians Formula, the Healthy Powder. This shattered into a million pieces. But I just have it sitting on my desk here open all the time because I'm still kind of using it a little bit. So I'm gonna take this and kind of set down some of the other areas of my skin before we get blush all over this. Set the centers here, down the nose a little bit. Stab myself in the eyeball. Now we're gonna take this Burt's Bees blush in Bare Peach, just very lightly, and pop that on top. Ooh, okay, I hear you, blush. Goodness. See, now that that blush is on, I wanna kind of calm it down, but I don't have another brush to do that. Let's just take this and nothing else on here. I'm just going to really lightly buff over this inner portion right here. Let's just be realistic here and brush some of this off and just use this to buff this out. Okay, that looks really good. Now I'm going to use the concealer side for a little bit of kind of contour in the crease area of my eye. It's going in with that same Milani bronzer. You want to make sure if you're using a multi-purpose brush like this that you do all the light things first and then all the more pigmented things after. Because if I had this bronzing powder on this brush and then tried to go in and, you know, brighten up the under eye with some powder or something like that, it would look crazy because it would have this kind of muddy brown color on it. Same with this side of the brush, like I was talking about with the blush. You want to do all of the neutral kind of skin tone shades first and then the blush last so that you don't end up accidentally like pouncing blush onto your like nose or the center of your chin or forehead. Take this under the eye a little bit too. Sorry, I still have my mascara on. I figured mascara is not really part of the video, right? So I just didn't take it off. Just for fun, let's deepen up that outer corner. This is an individual shadow from Benefit that doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But it's just a nice kind of cool tone brown. Just gonna pop this in the outer corner. This is a little bit stiff for me, for my personal eyeshadow taste. Again, it's brand new, but it works. It works well. You just have to be very, very soft with it. Like, I mean, put barely any pressure, especially if you have any sort of, you know, sagging in the lids at all, it will just like catch. So say I put my brush here, if I'm being really hard with it, it's not actually going to move the pigment around, it's just moving my eyelid. So you have to be really soft so that you're actually moving to different parts of your eyelid, if that makes any sense. I've been really liking this shade from the Milani Soft and Sultry palette on my lid because it's a little bit sheer, but it's still very sparkly for every day. So we're going in with this on the fingertip. Again, using the tools that we have attached to our arms here is not a sin. It's not, you know, rule breaking in this video or anything. This is gonna be so pretty. See, it didn't do too much, but for every day, I mean, that's just all you need, really. Ooh, I broke my rule. I wanted to use this for highlight, but it already has bronzer on it. So I'm just gonna take a paper towel and just kind of work it off the brush a little bit. I do this a lot with my eyeshadow brushes. If I ever want to get a color out before I use it again, you can kind of just work it out a little bit on a paper towel. So note to self, if I'm going to use one brush, I should do my highlighter before I do my eyes. Okay, that's pretty much off. See? And again, I want to really see how much this can do, so I'm going to use my cream highlighter here from Neutrogena and just kind of swirl this onto the tops of the cheekbones. I actually really like this size for a highlight. The only other problem with using one brush for all of your steps is that you pretty much have to clean it every single time you use it. because when each of your brushes only has one purpose, you know, it's fine if you use it for a few days, but with this, now this has highlighter on it, I can't go blend out concealer the next day under my eyes if I have highlighter all over this, you know? Like, you really gotta clean your brushes more often this way. I really like this though. This size is really good, and the feeling of the brush is really nice too. Again, you still want to be careful and use kind of a soft pressure on your skin, but I feel like this is working really well. Let's take a powder highlight over top just to see how this goes with this. I really like buffing motions because I feel like it really works it into the skin and makes it look really natural. Okay, that looks great. I'm gonna pop this on the inner corner with my fingertip. I could probably use the brush for this too, but that worked just great. Okay, I already have some mascara on, but now it has like powder and stuff all over it, so I'm just going to lightly kind of coat it one more time. This isn't going to be my prettiest mascara job. I really like to remove my mascara every single night, like entirely, because if you leave your mascara on, it can kind of almost crinkle or crisscross your lashes, where even if you wash it the next day, your lashes are like sitting kind of funny. At least I've noticed that on me. Plus, I feel like combing through fresh lashes, like clean lashes with mascara, looks the best. Like, this is just looking a little wonky to me, so not my preferred way to do it. But again, I was being a little lazy, so and this video is not about the mascara, so I'm just gonna skip on through. Okay, let me take a good look at my skin. I feel like everything looks really good. Just your nice average everyday makeup look. Oh, I got some mascara on my eyelid, huh? We'll pick that off later. Let's do a little bit of setting spray. Really melt everything in. This is one place where I would prefer to have a sponge to kind of press it in, but we're not using anything besides that brush, so I'm just gonna fan it off with my hands. And this is totally irrelevant, but I have this lipstick that I have not used before. This is from L'Oreal. It is their Color Riche Shine Lipstick in 908 Sparkling Rose. Whoa, it kind of broke. Can you see that? It like won't go up right there. Huh, oh well. I haven't used this before. I think this is just kind of like a shiny, almost balm. Ooh, cute. Oh, I really like that. Yay. Okay, I'm glad I tried that. I've been really stuck on that Maybelline nude lipstick, but this is so cute. Perfect for every day because it's not too opaque. Nothing you need to be super precise about. You can just kind of throw it on as you go throughout the day. You don't even really need a mirror, you know? That's the perfect kind of thing for every day. Okay, I feel like everything is looking really good. This is how I like my makeup to look normally, so I'm really happy with the outcome. I really like this brush. Everything worked really well. I'm excited for it to kind of like soften and loosen up a little bit, but I really liked it still. I would still say that my other brushes and way of applying my foundation and concealer is a little bit quicker, but this is so nice still. The finish was great. It was still fairly quick. I think just because it's a little smaller than my typical brushes, but I loved it for everything, really. I did. And I'm very happy to say that I will be using this more. I'll be reaching for it a lot. I'm going away just overnight, so I think that I'll just take this, maybe a couple eyeshadow brushes in case I want to do a little bit more than just a soft look like this. But this will be pretty much all that I take with me, and we'll see how I do for the weekend. So if you are in need of a quick kind of one and done type of brush to give you a full face, this one's fantastic. Look at me, I look great. So yes, thank you to my subscriber who recommended this brush to me. I'm so happy to have it, so happy to take it with me this weekend while I'm gone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of just natural everyday look using one brush, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!